Welcome back, Sean here, and we got something fun tonight. I originally shot this same video 2 years ago, and I never followed through on getting it edited and getting a channel started. But we've got a new series here. It's going to be an ongoing series. I'm going to react to my old skate parts. So I'm going to set the scene for each of these about where I was at going into these parts. And to open the series, I'll just introduce where I'm at now. So I'm 40 now, going on 41, skating something that's, once or twice a year for fun. Get out there, do a few little tricks, get some warm ups in. But I'm not out there getting gnarly all the time, getting clips. Like, those days are pretty much done, unfortunately. All good things come to an end, just kind of like, your favorite sports players retire. Uh, Kobe went out at 40, I think, 41 maybe. And it's that kind of thing. So it's all good. Like, I wouldn't even really identify myself as a skater anymore. Whereas in these clips, most of these parts we're going to watch, I fully embraced that identity. In fact, it defined everything. I got my fun out of skating. My self worth was derived out of skating. My philosophical worldview, my friendships, everything. It was all wrapped up. My therapy was skating. Everything was all wrapped up in skating for a lot of decades. And I just was inherently driven to see how far I could push it, see what the best I could do was, and where I could take it with the skating. So we're going to go back and we're going to watch these parts. So that's me in 1997 in Visalia, California. So I started high school, ninth grade, Visalia, California. It was a new town to me. Didn't have any friends, just moved there. Made my first friends through skating. And almost all the clips in this part dates from 97 to 98. And probably every clip in here was filmed by my best friend, Scott. Much love, Scott. Shout out to Scott. He's still around. We're still chatting these days. He's moved on up to Oregon. I'm out here in New York now. And so that was kind of the dynamic duo. Your ride or die, your number one. That most of us pair up in high school, something like that, either a small clique or like your number one best friend. And that was my guy. So we went through all of high school together, pretty much, best bros. And so he filmed all this. And so, yeah, it's going to be ninth, 10th grade, Visalia, California, 1997. And let's just react to the stuff. My name's legally changed. That's my birth name there. And this is literally edited on a 8mm camcorder and a VHS deck. And so these titles, you literally made that title in the camcorder. And here we go. That's on the street I lived on, Tulare Avenue, Visalia, Poser. Thought that was clever. We were going on a skate trip here up to the Madera skate park. Back in those days, there wasn't a park in every town. It was like really rare if there was a good skate park. So you would travel hours like with your friends just to hit a new park. Nice little gap. This is Tulare, California. One of the first handrails I tried. That's my apartment where I lived. All these spots are in the cut, straight up just neighborhood in the cut. Behind the Poverty grocery store. The camo shorts for like years, that was my go-to. I thought that was the coolest thing. You just sag your whole ass out and wear some baggy camo shorts and some skate shoes. I thought that was the coolest look for a few years. Didn't mean to do that. This stuff is going way back. Six stair, that was big for me back then. Rock ollie. Let's take a look at that. I always had strong ollies relative to my peers. Like, that's a pretty good ollie for a kid that's just been skating a few years. And I think the reason why is a lot of kids, they start out and they go straight to, like, first week on the board, they're trying like 360 flips. and trying crazy stuff that they shouldn't be trying. I way before this, I started in the country. I just had a slab of cement, and that was my skate spot. So I'd spend like, not exaggerating, like 6 hours or something on just like a 15 by 15 foot slab of cement, and like put my wheels in the crack and just try to perfect an ollie over and over for like months before I even thought about doing any kickflip or anything. So I think because of that, like all through my skate career, I had a strong ollie because of that foundation. So it's a lesson, kids. Don't skip your ollies. Train them up. Text.
Oh, 2 fingers.
Hanford, California. That's my high school right there, Mount Whitney. See the sagging. Front 50 shove. 2 angles. You do it twice if you want 2 angles. Check that out. When you start skating, you suck for like a long time. And this is the exact time range of like where I was like, I got some tricks, and you're like surprising yourself when you get new tricks. Like if someone told me I got that clip like a few months before, I'd be like, whoa, that's crazy. I thought that was really good at the time. I was stoked on that. 50 front shove. But yeah, what I see in this is just total skate rat kid. Like I literally did not care about anything else. It was just like getting better at skating. All I cared about. Switch ollie in the Dickies. One of my first feeble grinds.
Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked.
Shane, any good?
Yeah.
Alright. Later.
Boom. Used to ollie that every time up and down that main avenue of Visalia. This is a famous spot. Before even my day, some of the pros of Visalia was like Tom Knox and Jesse Pius and Richard Pius. And in those guys' day, like when they were this age, this was like the hot spot. All these ledges are waxed up. I think it was a welfare building. It was called like the welfare spot. Kickflip indie, super not cool. It was like 100-degree day, and I had a beanie on. That I became known for that, so I just embraced it. I'm like, yeah, I'm never gonna take the beanie off. I don't care how hot it is. Yeah. Was hyped on that a lot too. The malls used to be popping off in the 90s. That was a pretty big gap. I used to ollie it a lot too. All these spots are on Mooney Boulevard. Visalia is pretty small, or at least it was in these days, and there's like Main Street and then Mooney Boulevard. And all these spots are either like in the neighborhood where all my friends lived and like my girlfriend lived, or they're up and down Mooney Boulevard. You just cruise Mooney Boulevard, and there's spots every single block. There's little stuff to hit. That's what's awesome about California. It's not like that in every place. That was a big rail right there. In every place you could live, it's not like that. You can't just go every block and there's like perfectly smooth concrete and like little spots, perfect curb cuts, hydrants, benches. Like this is the California experience. This is why California is the center of skateboarding and always has been. Like it's just a different thing. It's always perfect weather, sunny every single day. You can just go outside your door and there's like, it's just spots. You can just go all day. That's not like that here in New York. Oregon's not like that. But yeah, the Cali dream.
Yeah.
Little roof melon grab. Some of these outfits too. Baggy ass pants with the sagging. That spot, this shopping center, there's this video online, maybe I'll throw it in this edit, of there's like a Tom Knox like old school Tom Knox video where he's sessioning that same parking lot. And he's killing it on the curb.
Hi, my name's Tom Knox. I live in Visalia, California. This is it. I like to skate banks, pools, anything. Just cement.
Mob flips, little stale fish down a 3. 50s, 5180s with the stank arm. Gotta hold the arm. Shove it, wheel grab. Ollieing stuff. Shove tail grab, but it didn't show up on the video. I just saw the shove it. I remember basically all this stuff that I like just barely learned 360 flips. And I'm like, I have to do it in a line. So I do like the shittiest step off tray flip. Redwood High School, and go back a little. This is like, I don't know if to this day, because I'm not involved in Visalia anymore, but to this day, or for a long time, I'll say this spot here, Redwood, was like the hottest spot in town for skating. There'd be sessions here, like, I'm not exaggerating, there'd be like 40 skaters at once sessioning this. There's like a 7 stair and a multiple 3 stairs, 3 up, 3 down, and a waxed bottom stair, and these off ledges, and a wall to ollie over, and it was pretty good. Just countless memories of like right after school gets out, you just grab the board, like right from school, skate down there after school, and there'd be like 20 to 40 people sessioning the school, and you just skate till the cops come every day, kick you out every day. Had a hookup shirt right there, and the baggy camo, all over that wall. You could go out of this ramp too. You could, I never did it, but you could blast out of that ramp, and you could slide a lot of these things. And being in California, like sometimes pros would just roll up all the Consolidated and Anti-Hero and Think, the 90s pros on those teams. You would see any of those guys. Those are all like Central Valley companies. And you would see any of those guys sometimes just roll up, and you would just like sit down and watch really good. See dudes do crazy flip tricks on the 7 stair. And yeah, look at that bowl cut right there, bleached out. I get the peroxide bottle and just put peroxide in your hair every night. And then the undercut, you like shave it all the way up and like let it hang over. This was already like the later years for that haircut. That was still popping off in like 94, that kind of haircut. So this is the later years for that style, but I'm rolling with it. And all my shoes came from Ross or the thrift store. And I had to like make my clothes last a long time because we didn't have money. Long ass 50s. Since the beginning, I was always trying to grind as far as I could. Melon grab. I saw somebody, that's my high school, that's like right after the school day. I can't remember this kid's name. Kickflip up the hard way. Can't remember this kid's name, but he's wearing a full hospital scrubs. He was just trying to be like really different all the time. This weird kid. I think his name Robert, maybe? Is that right? I don't know. Scott will know. Kickflip up the curb the hard way. Trying to impress the chicks with your tray flips and your ollie over the bike. That's the same day. It's my first handrail. King Tanrail. First one. That's it. That's the first part. We got more of these. I probably had like 7, maybe 8 parts or something. 7 or 8 parts in my skate career. So that's where it all began. It's my very earliest footage. I saved up a long time, like Christmas gifts, money and stuff, to buy that camera. It was like $300, 8mm. Not even high 8, not even digital 8. It was like even before digital was in. Digital 8 came out right after that, and mini DV was like even before that. And high 8 was like if you really got the quality stuff, what was it? The Sony TRV like 950 or something, the high 8. That was like what the pros were filming on. Uh, but I couldn't even afford that, so I just had this regular 8mm, and that's where it all began. And I remember all that shit. So wrap ups, reactions. Looking back on it now, it's like the reason I was doing this was because I perceived it as all right, you got to choose what to do in life. These people want to play on the football team. These people want to be painters. Like you got to choose what to do. And I used to just feel like everything was lame. Like that's lame. Football's lame. Baseball's lame. Everything's lame. But skating, that was cool. That's what I thought. And so I just thought, you just go all in. Like if skating's the cool thing, I want to go all in. And I came from a poor background as far as money, so I perceived it also as like there's literally nothing else to do. Like what am I gonna just like sit? Like I didn't have like PlayStation and stuff. I might have like just been a gamer and stayed inside if I could have afforded that stuff. Like who knows? But we had no money, so it's just like all I could do to just barely scrap together a skateboard and try to keep shoe gooing the holes in my shoes. Like my shoes would be like held together by shoe goo in a lot of these clips, and we would skate so far. We would just all these spots here. Like this is before we were even driving. I was like 15 in these clips, 15, 16. It's before any of us were even driving. So we would just skate like, I'm not exaggerating, like more than 10 miles like every day on the weekend. And we had a little skate gang called Veds, and it was Visalia Everyday Skaters. Around this age, this is the first time I was exposed to like, oh, gang culture is like real. Like I was from Oregon before this, and there's no real gang activity back then in Oregon. And here it was like hella racial tension in high school and gang shit and the Crips and the Bloods and the North Side and the South Side, and like that shit was real. And like the Cowboys versus the whatever, the Mexicans, and it was real. And there's this feeling of like you have to be in a gang. Like what are you doing if you don't have a crew? Then you're not safe if you're not in a crew. So like me and Scott pretty much just invented Veds, and the way I came up with that was I'm like, well, I'm not the best skater. Like there was other skate crews there, and we would like see their tags out, and I'd be like, well, I'm not the best skater, so I'm not gonna make some big like pretentious thing like we're the best crew. So what can I claim? Like what can I represent? And I was like, well, I know for a fact like everyone is not skating as much as me and my friends. Like we are doing this every single day. We are out here every day. Like I think there was more than several years of my life during this time. I really don't think I missed a day of skating unless I had like a fully blown out ankle injury that I was recovering from, which was frequently. But aside from that, like if I was physically capable of riding, I was gonna be on the board like every day. So that's where Veds came from. And as late as like the late 2000s, I saw that people had adopted that and it was still being represented there. I had seen it written on people's grip tape, Veds, and I'd seen it like tagged on a quarter pipe, and that totally blew my mind because I was just like a 15-year-old kid in the 90s when I devised that. And it was really just kind of me and Scott, our thing. So I was stoked on that people owned it. I don't know if it's still going on. My girlfriend used to work in that store at this age. She was like 18 and I was 15. Yeah, so lots of ollies. This is the very beginning. This was like just enough, getting these clips, making this edit, just enough to like stoke the fire where I'm like, I want to do this forever. Like I want to get as good as I can. I want to make video parts forever. That's it. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. We'll have more of these. I got, like I said, 7 parts to react to. So that's the first one, all the way back to 97. Peace out.